2014-125, State of Arkansas versus Scott Vest. Mr. Vest, it's my understanding that you're appearing at this time to change your plea on the charges against you.
Yes, sir.
And this change of plea is brought about by an agreement that's been worked out for you by your attorney, Mr. Downham. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you discussed the terms of the agreement and the punishment you're to receive with Mr. Downham?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel you understand what the agreement is?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the advice and representation that Mr. Downham has provided you?
Yes, sir.
On the charges in this matter of possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, Class D felony, and obstruction of governmental operation, Class A misdemeanor, how do you now plead?
Guilty.
You're in this plea of guilty pursuant to the agreement we've been discussing, and that agreement is in writing in this document I'm holding up called a plea statement. Have you read through this plea statement and signed it?
Yes, sir.
And do you feel you thoroughly understand what's set out in it?
Yes, sir.
You then understand the nature of the charges against you and the full range of penalties you're facing?
Yes, sir.
You understand the rights that you give up or surrender by pleading guilty?
Yes, sir.
The most important of the rights that you give up are the right to a trial by jury, the right to be represented by an attorney, more to the point, the right to have the assistance of that attorney throughout the trial process. You're giving up the right to confront the witnesses that would appear and testify against you, and you're also giving up the right to appeal. Do you understand these rights that you're giving up by pleading guilty?
Yes, sir.
And understanding these rights, are you still willing to enter this plea of guilty?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty here today freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody in any form or fashion forced you into entering this plea?
No, sir.
As you plead guilty here today, do you admit to your actions involved in this matter?
Yes, sir.
You admit to having in your possession on or about May 1st of 2014 here in Baxter County a quantity of methamphetamine, and also engaging in activities during the course of the arrest where you tried to deny the presence of other individuals and thereby obstructing the officers in their lawful functions.
Yes, sir.
All right. Based on those statements, the court's going to find the defendant has freely and voluntarily entered his plea of guilty. He's done so after consulting with an attorney, and he's admitted to facts which constitute the crime in this case. And on that basis, the court will accept his plea of guilty and find him guilty of possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, a Class D felony, and obstruction of governmental operations, a Class C misdemeanor. Having judged the defendant guilty, the court will sentence the defendant in accordance with the written agreement, sentencing the defendant to 3 years in the Arkansas Department of Corrections on the possession of meth, and 30 days in the Baxter County Detention Center on the obstruction of governmental operations. Those sentences will run concurrent with each other. The court is also ordering the defendant to pay $200 in court costs, a fine of $1,000, a statutory DNA fine of $250, a booking administration fee of $20, and a drug crime assessment of $125. All of those amounts I've just set forth, financial amounts, will be due and payable as a term and condition of his release from the Department of Corrections, and those payments are to begin within 60 days of the defendant's release from the Department of Corrections. The court is directing that the defendant will forfeit the defendant's interest in any and all items seized by law enforcement during the course of this investigation will be ordered by the court as a part of this agreement. That will be the order of the court. The defendant is remanded into the custody of the Sheriff's Office to await transportation to the Department of Corrections. The defendant may be excused.